was your day? I hope everything runs well. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Imelda Hutauruk. I am from class K2 2023. So, the theme that we will talk today is about education. Well, from this time I decided to discuss about curriculum in short. What is curriculum anyway? Do you know what the definition of curriculum is? If you know, please comment below. So, the curriculum is a systematic and structured learning plan that includes learning objective, subject matter, teaching methods, and assessment. It is a route mapped to achieve certain educational goals. So, what is the purpose of this curriculum? Curriculum objectives vary depending on the level of education, such as elementary, middle, high school, university, and the philosophy of education adopted. In general, curriculum objectives include the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor development of students, as well as preparing them for life in the future. Friends, you need to know there are 6 important aspects of the curriculum. The first one, learning objective. Clear and measurable learning objectives are the foundation of an effective curriculum. These objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and time-bound. The second one is course content. Subject matter should be relevant, up-to-date, and in line with developments in science and technology. The subject matter should also be tailored to the needs and abilities of the student. The third one is teaching methods. Teaching methods should be varied and adapted to the subject matter and student characteristics. Effective methods can involve active, collaborative, and project-based learning. Next, assessment. Do you know assessment should be comprehensive and cover various aspects such as knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Assessment should also be used as a tool to improve the learning process. The fifth one is technology integration. A modern curriculum needs to integrate digital technology to enhance learning and create a more interactive learning experience. The last one is competency-based curriculum. The current trend is the development of competency-based curriculum, which emphasizes on developing student skills and abilities that can be applied in the real world. Okay, now we move on to the main discussion, which is the curriculum that has been implemented in Indonesia. So, after I searched from several reference sources, it turns out that there are 10 curriculums that have been implemented in Indonesia. So, the first one is 1947 curriculum, the second one in 1952 curriculum, the third one is 1964 curriculum, the fourth one is 1968 curriculum, the fifth one is 1975 curriculum, and the sixth one is 1984 curriculum, the seventh is 1994 curriculum, and the eighth one is 2004 curriculum, or competency-based curriculum, or KBK, and then 2006 curriculum, or education unit level curriculum, or KTSP, and then 2013 curriculum, and the last one is independent curriculum. So those are some of the curriculum that have been implemented in Indonesia. But before we move on to the next discussion, I want to tell you that I only discussed 3 curriculums, which are the 2006 curriculum, or education unit level curriculum, KTSP, and then the 2013 curriculum and the independent curriculum. Why do I only discuss these 3 curriculums? Because during my studies, I have only experienced these 3 curriculums. So, I want to share my point of view on these three curriculum. Okay, let's discuss it right away. So, the first curriculum I want to discuss is education unit level curriculum, or often shortened to KTSP. So, the implementation year of this curriculum is 2006 to 2013. The focus of this curriculum is to empower education units by giving schools the authority to develop curriculum according to the needs and characteristics of students. So, the characteristics of this curriculum are: first one is providing flexibility for schools in determining materials and methods. The second one is learning emphasize the development of student competencies, and the last one prioritize the active participation of school and community members in curriculum development. The second one is curriculum 2013. This curriculum began to be implemented in 2013 until 2014. This suspension was intended to evaluate and improve the 2013 curriculum. So then in 2015 up to 2019, the government re-implemented the 2013 curriculum in several schools, but with several revisions. Then the focus of this curriculum is student character development, active learning, and authentic assessment. The characteristics of this curriculum are: the first one is emphasize student-centered learning with a thematic and integrative approach. The second one, implementing a more comprehensive assessment covering aspects of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behavior. The third one is prioritize student character development through intracurricular and extracurricular activities. Okay, now we enter the last discussion, namely the independent curriculum. The year of implementation of this curriculum is 2021 until now. Then the focus of this curriculum is the development of student competencies, student-centered learning, and technology integration. And then the characteristics of this curriculum are: the first one is provides flexibility for schools in choosing learning materials and methods. The second one is emphasize the development of student competencies that are relevant to the needs of the world of work. The third one is encourage the use of technology in learning. And the fourth is prioritize the project of strengthening the Pancasila learner profile, or P5, for student character development. Now that we are at the end of the discussion, you must be wondering which curriculum is the most effective from what I have discussed. So guys, determining the most effective curriculum is complex and depends on various factors. However, in my opinion, of the three curriculums, the Merdeka curriculum has the potential to be the most effective. This is because Merdeka curriculum is designed to overcome the weakness of the previous curriculum. The Merdeka curriculum is more flexible, student-centered, and I think integrates technology. But despite this, in my opinion, there are three things that need to be considered in this independent curriculum. The first is teacher preparedness. Teachers need to understand the concept and implementation of the curriculum in depth. Then, school resources. School need enough resources such as infrastructure, books, and learning tools. And the last one, support from the government and the community. Support from the government and the community is essential for successful curriculum implementation. So, what do you think? So what do you think according to you from my three discussion? Which curriculum is the most effective? Please comment below if you have another opinion. I think that's all I can say for our topic today. In closing, I think the conclusion that I can conclude is that every curriculum has its own characteristics, benefits, and disabilities. The Merdeka curriculum has the potential to be the most effective, but its success depends on various factors. It is important to continuously monitor and evaluate curriculum implementation to ensure that education in Indonesia continues to improve in quality. I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in next video. Bye bye.